Allow yourself to settle into your starting position. You can turn your palms up today to symbolize or just open yourself up to whatever wisdom wants to reveal itself. As a reminder, we start in Sukhasana as this position of ease, easy seat, to allow the mind to drop into the body, allow the body to settle into the earth, and to start to connect with an easy breath. Can you recognize here a natural sense of ease as you let the to-dos maybe fall off your shoulders, as you let yourself have whatever kind of breath feels good as you arrive? You let these other things, the things that are not you, fall to the side and come into your natural sense of ease. And I suggest today that we really strengthen this connection with ease. It comes through our connection with our breath, our energetic awareness and bodily awareness. When we recognize that in any moment, we can feel and be in connection with this sense of ease. Can we take Sukhasana into every pose that we practice on and off the mat? We'll start with a gentle wake up here seated. You can find your collarbones dropping into the little hollows and either start to massage or move into the thump onto K27, beginning to deepen your breath. Letting go. Belly and ribs expand. And letting go. Move to the center of the sternum, thymus, thump. Nice strong immune system. Tapping activates these centers of the body. It brings an attention, and it's kind of like saying to your brain, let's send some energy here. To the side seam of the body, onto the end of the spleen meridian. Sending energy to your body's systems of digestion and assimilation. Being able to nourish from what you take in and to release what you don't need or what may be toxic, just letting that part go. Your body knows how to do this, right? We just feed a little energy into the systems that support that and trust our bodies and inner wisdom to do the rest. You can shake off the arms, one lighter tap on the cheekbones, grounding the body deeply, sending some energy into the stomach meridian that runs through the stomach. If it feels good, tapping along the ridge of the eyes, the rim of the eyes. And noticing any points that are tender and giving it a little extra tap. From here, move into an intuitive tapping. Waking up any areas of the body. Maybe you just scan through the body with tapping and notice where it feels good. all over the legs, the back, the skull, the belly, anywhere really. The arms, anywhere where you may have felt some stagnancy or some tightness, tension. Your sensations, or anytime that you feel pain, it's your wisdom speaking to you, right? That's the body's wisdom saying, hey, let's pay attention to this. Nice deep breaths. Then shake off the arms and hands and rest the hands face down on the thighs, turning your attention inwards for a couple quiet breaths to just notice how you feel. And allow yourself to feel that. Give yourself the space to acknowledge where you're at now. And also to feel that natural sense of ease that underlies all of the emotion. Begin to deepen your breath again, in through the nose, out through the mouth, as you reach the arms up and let it fall to the thigh, one at a time, alternating. Letting go of what is not you or what you no longer need to hold on to. Pause, cactus shape. Draw the hands back and open your chest. As you do this, feel your spine lifting up, finding a really great open posture. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, cross crawl, opposite hand to thigh. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Connecting the right and left hemispheres of the brain. I learned something interesting the other day, that as we've evolved through these last few centuries, especially as we've moved through the Industrial Revolution and the age of knowledge and science, that we've moved from more of a right brain to a left brain. If you start to measure the activity in our brains, they sort of shift according to the culture and where we're at in society. And sometimes these two hemispheres of the brain have a hard time connecting or working together. And that's a big part of this practice, is just bringing in a balance between both the feminine and masculine, the yin and yang, right and left. And so you can imagine here those weaving together. Both are important. Slow it down and bring both hands in front of your pubic bone, over top of the lower belly. Take a couple of breaths here for yourself, cultivating an intention and cultivating energy or chi or prana in this lower energy center, in your low belly. Imagine energy drawing into the hands and into the space in your abdomen. And allow a single word or a short phrase to guide you today. Not coming from the head, not coming from to-do lists, but bubbling up from this energy, from what your body wants to share with you. And we'll seal this intention in by practicing the zip up. Inhale and trace that intention all the way up and overhead. And as you exhale, let your arms just rain down and out. We'll do that 2 more times, sealing in your intention. Lifting up that chi and letting it drape around you. Once more. Lock it in with the hook up, middle finger to the belly button and third eye. Press in and draw up and connect to your own deep breath. Shoulders soft. Space in your spine. Let's do a little longer hookup today, holding for a few extra breaths. And release. Hands come to the thighs. You can turn the palms up again. Loop your shoulders back, ground into your sits bones, and from the press of the seat, lift up through the crown of your head. Belly breathing. In through the nose, fill up your belly. Belly gently draws in, pressing the air up and out through the nose. We'll practice an extended exhale here, breathing in for a count of 4, and out for a count of 6 or 8. Just count these on your own, find your own pace. Feeling the belly hug in to press out every last sip of air. And then the inhale is a rejuvenation. Nice deep breath and long, slow exhale. Take one more breath like this. Bring the fingers to the sternum and massage in between each of the ribs here on your chest. Kind of like you're raking leaves with your fingers, just pressing in and pulling apart. All the way down between the breasts, up towards the collarbones, massaging the long neurolymphatics. Good. Shake off the hands and then bring your fist into the center of the diaphragm, right where the ribs meet. The other hand comes on top of that for freeing the diaphragm, helping to breathe easier today. Hug your ribs in towards your sides. Press your fist into your diaphragm as you breathe in. Hold the breath just for a moment as you squeeze here. And as you exhale, soften the pressure on the diaphragm, release the hands and elbows from the ribs. So inhale, pressing in, the breath presses into the fists, hug. And when you're ready to release, soften everything. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, pressing in. Hold. And release. Release the hands to the thighs, taking just 3 more breaths with an extended exhale. But this time we'll hold at the bottom of the breath. Breathing in for 4. Out for 6. Hold out at the bottom. Breathe in for 4. Out for 6. Hold for 2. One more time. Let a little smile formulate on your face. Just an appreciation of this connection with your body and breath. And then extend your legs forward. They can kind of be a little bent here. There's not like a formal posture. And we're going to massage the inner and outer seams of the legs. You can use your fists or maybe use your finger points and really dig into that inner and outer seam. Large and small intestines, helping these organs of release. And you're bound to feel some sore spots in here. This is one of the few points where if there's some pain, you can really dig into it. Oftentimes, massaging these points will actually help with forward folds also, just helping you to really release and fold. And then just lightly smooth over these lines. And we'll switch sides. If you feel like you need a big audible exhale, take that anytime. Try and smooth that line. And then come all the way down to your back. Make sure your strap is handy here. And as you roll down to the back, bring your right knee in towards the chest. You can keep your left knee bent or straighten the leg. It's up to you. Hook your strap around the bottom of the foot and extend the foot up towards the sky. Or if you don't have a strap, you might just hold behind the calf or the thigh. We'll start by just drawing the sole of the foot up towards the sky. The toes gently come back towards the face. Maybe you do a little ankle roll here. And we'll open the leg to the right side. So here you might want to extend the leg down. Left hand comes to left hip. And letting that right leg go as far as it can out to the right without letting the left hip come off the mat. So keeping the back side of your body grounded. And we'll just hold this stretch here for a few breaths. Moving into your yogic breath, in and out through the nose. Try to remember to invite in that sukhasana, that easy seat in the mind and body as we explore these stretches. Using the strap or the hand, gently guide the foot up through center. If you are using a strap, you'll switch it into your left hand and let the right leg go over the body to the left. Right arm can come out to the side. Letting the shoulders stay anchored down. Making space in the body for the energy to flow. So any of that sensation, you can start to recognize it's just inviting a spaciousness, opening up any blocks in the body so that chi or prana can move through you. That every cell is in communication. And using the strap or the hand, bring the right foot back up through center and release the strap. Switch sides, bringing the left knee in towards the chest. You might give it just a little hug here first, and then extending the leg up towards the sky using the strap or wrapping hands around the back of the thigh. If it feels good, take a little circle in the ankle and lengthen the back side of the leg. Toes draw down towards your face, heel presses up, ball of the foot presses up. And connect to a steady flow of breath. Open the leg to the left. Does not have to come all the way down. That's why the strap can be really helpful, because it helps you find sort of this midway point. Soften in your shoulders, the neck, the back. Allow the body to open. And then a lot of times that's what it is, right? It's just allowing something to take place. Noticing where there's resistance or fight, and allowing something to happen. And come up through center, slowly, slow transition. Switch the strap to the other hand and cross the leg over the body. Left arm comes out to the side like a T. And a few more deep breaths here in that twist. Good way to wake up your digestion, massage the organs as you breathe in the belly. Come back up through center. Bend the knee, releasing the strap. Place both soles of the feet on the mat. Realign your hips if you need to, and then wrap your hands around your ribs, holding on to those spleen points. We're going to roll up in a slow sit-up, drawing your head towards the chest. Try not to use momentum. It might help if you extend your legs out a little further. And see if you can roll all the way up. If you need a little support on this first one, just release your hands and slowly press up, but still trying to use your core to lift. And then you can re-hug at the top if you've let go, and rolling slowly back down. Slow, slow, slow. When you release down to the mat, reverse, come back up. And don't fight yourself here. I know there can be a little struggle in this. You might find a spot that feels a little weak. That's okay. Use your arms and slowly come up. You're still going to feel that warmth in the belly start to cultivate. And one more time, we'll roll down. And one last time coming up. And when you get to the top, swing your legs around. Come into tabletop. And then downward facing dog. Articulating through the spine, through the arms, maybe a little pedal through the feet. Then release into child's pose. Knees come down and wide, big toes touch, forehead to the mat or to a block. Arms extended, breathing in, letting go. Breathing in and letting go. Come forward to tabletop and lower down to your belly. You can do this in a half chaturanga or just rolling down. Bring the hands behind the lower back, one on top of the other, and point your toes back as far as they can go. Feel traction in your body from the toes and the tip of the tailbone all the way through the back of the head. So not so much the crown of the head, but where the neck meets the head. And you can hover your head off the mat here, just feeling the back muscles starting to engage. And then lift up your elbows so your chest opens a little more, pressing down into the pubic bone and into the thighs. Release the left cheek down onto the mat. Soften the body, relax the hips and heels. We'll move with the breath here through locust pose. As you take your next breath in, lift the head, look forward, right arm extends, left leg lifts. So opposite hand and foot. And then exhale to release, right cheek turns down, hands return onto the low back. Inhale, left arm extends, right leg lifts. Keep that right shoulder and elbow open. Exhale, left cheek down, soften onto the mat. And again, inhale, right arm, left foot. Release, right cheek down. Inhale, left arm, right foot. Release, left cheek down. One more time each way. Inhale, right arm, left foot. Exhale, right cheek down. Last one. Inhale, left arm, right foot. And release, left cheek down. Bring the hands under the shoulders like cobra and lift up your head and shoulders, pressing down into the legs. The glutes are engaged. Now lift up both feet. Hover both hands. You might bring the hands out to the sides a little more like cactus. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, activating a nice strong back. Heart openers and twists can be really beneficial in this season of letting go and starting to move into cooler months where we start to want to collapse our shoulders in. So these heart openers can be really helpful. But the strength of the back really deepens those heart openers. Okay, release. Hands come down. Soften your head, soften your back, and then gently press up through tabletop. Cow and cat. Find your alignment. You guys know the cycle, so just start to move with your own breath. One more. When you finish the cycle that you're on, come into downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Feel the shoulders rolling into the sockets here. The upper arms are externally rotating. And then take a walk to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Little bend in the knees. You might hold on to opposite elbows or just kind of sway the fingers side to side. Find what feels good to you. Think about opening up that back line of the body from the bottoms of your feet all the way down over the head to the forehead. Nothing in the body is in isolation. Everything is connected. Bend your knees even more. Start to look forward, letting the blood rebalance and bring the hands to the thighs. Take a little moment in between and then use the strength of the legs to rise all the way up. And come into mountain pose. Open the palms. Ground into your feet. From the press of the feet, lift up through the crown of your head. And breathe into that lower energy center again. Breathe into your belly. Imagine you're kind of holding your hands around this low ball of energy. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, lifting that energy up. Celtic weave, come into a forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lift up halfway. Exhale, refold. Legs get a little longer, head releases. Inhale to reverse swan dive. You can bend the knees as you lift all the way up and overhead. Celtic weave, bringing the hands into the heart. Now bring the hands around the body to the back and see if you can find a reverse prayer. Just gently opening the shoulders and across the collarbone. Maybe the fingers will touch, maybe the palms. If neither of those work, just holding on to the forearms or the fingers. Now try not to overarch your back, but stay grounded into the legs and lifting up through your crown. Imagine that you could breathe right into the center of the chest, opening up all of the space through the throat and the collarbones, into those lung neural lymphatics that we massaged earlier. Release the hands down, and this time you'll just flatten them on your, right above your glutes, kind of on the hips here. Engage the legs, lift up through the center of your sternum. You can keep the chin a little tucked at first, you're not straining the neck. Engage the legs even more as you come into a standing back bend. If it is okay for the neck, you might allow the head to drop back, but if it's straining, just keep the chin drawing in a little more. Notice what wants to happen in the legs. Keep those legs nice and strong. And allow your whole body to activate here. The strength of the back, the opening of the heart, groundedness into the feet. And yet there's still a tug lifting you up through your center of the chest. Release, come back through center, mountain pose. Penetrating flow, hands come behind the back once more, this time flat behind the belly button, and started to circle the hands on the Ming Man point. Switch the direction of your circles and let it be really gentle. See if you can do a little softer circles. You're not massaging, you're not trying to move lymph, you're moving energy and it doesn't need pressure. Flatten the hands, come down towards the sacrum, up and over the hips. flipping your palms at the hip flexors, which is just really helping to open up if there's any blockages here. And then tracing up the center of the body, the neck, and cup around the mouth for 3 audible breaths. Slide down the throat, land over the heart. Take a moment to connect with your intention. A natural sense of ease. Belt flow, hands come to the left waist. Trace, or kind of like you're pulling energy from the left waist over to the right. Sweep the arms around to the left and do that 2 more times. And then down the outside of the leg, off the pinky toe. And trace up spleen, coming up the center line. Flare out at the hips, up to the shoulders, and down to the side body. Give a little buzz. Start at the right waist, dragging the hands across to the left. Sweep through and do that 2 more times, a little above, a little below. Down the outside of the leg, off the pinky toe, and this time stay low. Heel toe your feet wide. You might even move to the long edge of your mat if you're not on that side already. Releasing into a wide leg forward fold. You can wrap your peace fingers around your big toe, covering both the inside and outside edges of your toenail. And then pressing your elbows out wide to draw the crown of the head towards the earth. So when your elbows point out to the sides, you bring a little space in between the shoulder blades, feeling the neck release. And then lengthening the back sides of the legs to help you fold. Connect to your breath. Release. Hands come right underneath of the shoulders. You'll come into almost a flat back. If it helps, you can have blocks under your hands here. Left hand stays down. Right arm sweeps out and up into a twist. Release and switch sides. Release. And trace up spleen from this wide leg fold, starting on the inside of the big toe, come up behind the ankles, inseam of the legs, out at the hips, up to the shoulders, and down to the side body. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. Heel toe your feet in just a little bit. You can still have a little wider stance. And then bring the arms into a wide funnel for heaven rushing in. There's a sense of a back bend again as you engage the lower body to stand tall and open up through your heart. Receiving whatever wisdom your practice has to offer you today, whatever gifts this day might have to offer you. Allow these gifts to reign in and offer your gratitude in return. You can heel toe your feet a little closer together and weave your hands, Celtic weave, just sealing this gratitude and these gifts right into your heart, landing one over top of the other on the chest. Take a moment to pause. Hands come down to the sides. Human touching the divine. This is a series of back bends. It's the peak pose for metal that we do in the 5-element flow. So we'll incorporate that S sound here. That S is to really help let go. The back bends give us this opportunity to surrender and to carry whatever wisdom has come before into a new cycle. We can trust that we've learned and grown and that all of this will carry with us. Low back bend, inhale. Exhale, S sound, hugging around a tree, fingers almost touch. To the height of the shoulders, back bend, legs engage. Exhale, S. Overhead, like heaven rushing in. Breathe in. Exhale, S sound. Hands slide over the backs of the arms. Keep the sound going as you land on the outer chest. Take 2 more S breaths. Releasing, surrendering, softening. Bring your hands together at heart center. Connecting heaven and earth, a little bend in the knees. Inhale, one palm presses up, one palm down. Hold the breath in for just a moment and then exhale back to center. We're only doing 2 of these. So as you inhale, switch sides. Exhale back to center. Sweep both arms out and up. Exhale, Celtic weave, coming down into a forward fold. Bend the knees for blowing out the candle. It's moving into that water element. It helps bring the wisdom that you've cultivated courageously forward. So our sound is who, W-H-O. As you breathe in, look down. Out and forward, blowing it out. Inhale down. Blow it out and forward, releasing fear. Once more. All of your courage. Move forward into the unknown. Hands come down to the mat. Come into your tabletop. Just a couple more cycles of cow and cat. Or maybe this time you want to find a C curve instead. You can just move the energy through the spine any way that feels good. And come back into tabletop and feel your lower belly drawing up towards the spine. Lifting your left hand forward. Belly stays engaged. If you can take the next step here, the right leg kicks back. It does not have to be lifted very high. Maybe it's just a few inches off the mat. The important part here is to stay engaged through your center and feel the length from the tailbone to the back of the head. Release and switch sides. Right arm lifts first. Engage the belly. Left leg extends back. Toes are dialed down. Feel the body stretching out in the back body and stabilizing through the underbelly, through the front side. Release, switch sides. This time both hand and foot can lift together. Either holding the pose again here and engaging the low belly, or adding in a back bend, bending your knee, reaching back for the foot. If you reach the foot, press your thumb into K1, that point right by the big toe mound that activates that kidney energy and drawing energy up from the earth. And then just press your thumb into that point as you look forward gently, kick into the hand, let the left shoulder open, and breathe. Release. Low belly engages. Left foot, right hand, switching sides. Option to stay here or bend the knee and reach back. Pressing into K1 between big toe and second toe. And then just pressing into that point as you kick into the hand. Looking forward. Breathe. And release. Downward facing dog. Lower ribs knitting in. Feeling the strength and stability in your spine. Pressing the thighs back and heels down. With your breath, inhale and roll forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. And down dog. 2 more times. Plank. Down dog. Plank. Down dog. We're going to come forward to plank one more time, and this time hold it here. Option to lower the knees. Remember that energy center in the low belly. Let that energy cultivate and grow. Visualize a warmth, a fire burning in the low belly. And we'll turn this into a side plank. Let's keep the left hand down. If the knee is down, you can pivot the left heel out like a kickstand. Lifting up through the hips. Beautiful. Recognize your strength and beauty wherever you're at. Acknowledge yourself for that now. Let the shaking be there. Let all of it be there. It doesn't matter. You being here is what matters. Come back through plank. Listen to your body. Let's go into the other side. Knee down or lifted, your choice. There's no judgment about it. It's just listening to where and what your body needs today. And come back through center plank. Hold here for just a moment and press back to downward facing dog. Stretch it out, let the head release, and then come into child's pose. Let it go. Come forward onto your elbows, so more like a puppy pose where the hips are over the knees and you're on your elbows. You'll bring your hands over the forehead, eyes, and cheeks. Covering the main neurovasculars on the forehead, making it a little darker behind the eyes, and just taking a few deep cleansing breaths. A moment for yourself. If any sound wants to come out, let it come. Even just fluttering the lips. Can you soften in the shoulders? Let the heart melt a little more. Puppy pose is really called heart melting posture. Now lower down the hands. Make a diamond with your thumb and index finger. And we'll lower all the way down to the belly in a downward facing triple diamond. So the knees will go wide, the big toes will come together, or heels. Elbows point out wide, and that diamond shape you made with your hands will allow your head to rest in it. You might need to overlap your thumbs so that your nose isn't getting squished. And it's very common for the feet to not be hitting the earth here, so if they're hovering, that's okay. Maybe you feel like you can take up a little more space. Maybe your spine can lengthen. And then just surrendering here. Surrendering any worries outside of you. Releasing any grief that you've been processing. And hand in hand with letting go is your ability to trust that what you need will carry forward. Body remembers. You can start to trust that every step you take is guided. It's guided by what's come before, it's guided by your ancestors, it's guided by intuition. And this is metal moving into water. This is letting go and moving into courage. And slowly start to release from this pose by bringing the legs together and just stretching them out long. You can stretch your arms forward. Take your arms a little wider, about as wide as your mat. And you can hover your head off the mat here for a little moment. And we're just going to lift up the right hand. So you're sort of going to roll onto the left side and just lift up the right hand as much as you can. You'll feel that right shoulder kind of activate. And then lower it back down. Same thing with the left. Lift up the left back of the hand. Rolling onto the right and lower it down. We'll do that one more time each way. Inhale, lift up the right. Let it lower. Lift up the left. And let it lower. We'll roll all the way to the back here. And set up for moving bridge. Heels come to the sides, or heels come in towards the backside, hands by your side. With your breath, inhale, lift the hips, extend the arms overhead. Exhale and lower, hands and hips in unison. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out to lower. One more time. Wiggle the hands under your backside for fish. Extend the legs down your mat. Tuck the elbows and forearms underneath of you and allow the center of the chest to start to lift. Press into your forearms to lift the head up and come onto the back of the head, top back of the head. Throat is open for 3 breaths if you can. And press into your arms to lift the head and lower back down. And then we'll clear the channels of the throat, just using your peace fingers, starting at the center of the throat. 2 fingers go up towards the chin, 2 down towards the collarbones. And you'll do that 3 more times to the right side of the trachea, up towards the jaw, down towards the collarbone. Stretching through the throat, noticing if there's any sore spots. We'll come back to the center before doing that 3 more times to the left of the trachea. And then 1 more time to fish. You can shake off your hands, wiggle them back underneath of you, press into the forearms and lift the center of the chest for 3 more breaths. The toes point down the mat. Try not to let the inner thighs roll out. Press into the forearms, lift your head, and lower back down. Check in with yourself here and see if there's any last movement that you would like. And what I'll offer you here is not so much movement, but just one more hold before Shavasana of placing one hand over the forehead. And then see where it feels best for you to hold the other hand, either behind the base of the head, behind the eyes, on top of the crown. Maybe you do forehead and temples with both hands, or forehead, eyes, and cheeks. Trust where you've landed and take a few breaths, allowing that natural sense of ease to really settle in. If you feel complete with that, you might let the hands rest on the body or to your sides for a final moment in Shavasana. Notice the thoughts that come through your mind here, being the observer without judgment. Just allow yourself the space to feel and observe without trying to push anything down or away. Let these feelings surface and just reassure yourself here that you've got your back, that you have support, that you have everything that you need in this moment. Step by step, step by step, you have what you need. Really tune into your heart. You might even place your hands over the heart or heart and belly. And drop out of the thinking mind. Drop into your heart. Let's move from this space as we come off the mat today, allowing the breath to deepen, to allow the body to begin to move. That sense of ease coming into your movements, bending the knees when you're ready and rolling over to your side. You don't need to think about how you move here. Just allow yourself to gently press up to a cross-legged seat. Let your left hand rest in the lap, the right hand over top of the left wrist. And take a few equal waves of breath, feeling your natural alignment, natural sense of ease that underlies the layers that we've been holding on to, pressures we felt, recognizing the ease beneath that. And allowing the effort and ease to come into balance. The lips curl into a gentle smile in gratitude of your body, of this brilliant mind that you possess, of this infinitely wise wisdom that you're connected to. And bringing the palms together and just sealing in your practice today in any way that feels good. Namaste. Thank you, thank you. May your day be filled with blessings and grace. And as you stay connected to that wisdom, so much trust and faith in that process.